Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another exciting meeting at Toastmaster for Hyderabad Entrepreneurs 2.0. Life is not a prepared speech, isn't it? There's several occasions in life where we are put on the spot. There are several occasions in our life where we get to a point where that 1 to 2 minutes, whatever we are speaking, is going to make a lot of difference, or rather, going to be a decision point in our life. Life is not a prepared speech, but what I'm going to teach you today, or rather going to discuss with you, is that we can be prepared for that. And how do we do that? Is there certain techniques, and there are going to be certain things that we can utilize in our life, and that will help us to become better in this impromptu situation or impromptu speaking. So we are going to discuss in detail. So let me officially initiate the meeting and invite the guests that we have today. We have Ajar Khan who has joined, and then we have Aditi Das who not Toastmaster. Aditi, you're a non-Toastmaster, right? You never visited any Toastmaster meeting so far.
Yeah, I just wanted to check what will be the agenda and how you are going to conduct this session. I just wanted to check. However, I will try to connect with my audio. Just give me a minute.
No problem. Aditi, thank you for joining. And we have visiting Toastmaster who are also joining. Toastmaster Nihal and then Toastmaster Latif who has joined, who are going to help us as role players. With that note, starting about the topic, let me share my screen. Give me a minute. Talking about communication. What is communication? Communication is all about a ability to convey the message that we intend to convey, right? For example, if you talk in the terms of technology from one end to other end, you need to send a message and that has to reach all the packets has to reach. There is no loss in that message. If I'm speaking, whatever I want to convey, you should be able to grasp it irrespective of what is your background or whoever you are. As a speaker, that is my challenge, however. There's several things as part of speech that we will discuss, and then mainly about impromptu speech. When it comes to impromptu speaking, there's a famous quote which says that it takes me 3 to 4 hours to prepare for an impromptu speech. Mark Twain has mentioned it. See, though these are impromptu situations, we can go prepared. And how do we do that is something that we're going to discuss. Before that, what does an impromptu speech or impromptu situation involve? Critical thinking. You have to think critically at that situation and answer that. Organization skill. You need to organize your thought that you have around that topic that is given to you, and you have to organize that better and then use it to convey your message, right? And next is think on toes, where you need to think and how to arrange or how to talk. And then last thing is improve, keep improving yourself. This is what the impromptu situation throws as a challenge at you, and how do you handle is it what matters. Not talking about how do we do that. Let's come to first thing. What are the impromptu tricks? Rather, I would call it what is the preparation that you need for your impromptu situation. First thing is build your well. Well, just like the common well that you have outside, you need to pull the water, keep pulling it, but it also needs the rains which fills the water inside. And when you need the water, you use the pulley and the bucket to draw the water, right? Exactly the same way, you need to build your well that is here. How do you do that? First thing is reading, reading and reading. That can be magazines or stories or reading about cultures across. Second thing is books and looks. When I say looks, it's about when you understand others, when you look at others, how do they react and everything. That is something that helps you. Even when you are speaking, you need to observe how people are reacting. Most of time, people ignore the reaction of the audience. That is why you lose. Think of the scenario. You are telling something and your boss changes the way that his moods are, his facial expressions, or his eye contact, and that makes a difference, right? You need to understand the looks too. Remember some popular lines that you can connect with what you're trying to talk, because those lines matter a lot. The family history, or maybe a company history, the business history, is all something that will help you a lot. Sometimes that what you can add is trivia or facts that you're reading, myths, and interest of common people is something that you can add to your well. And this all comes to you when you're trying to do that impromptu talking. This is the well that you need to build yourself. How do you tackle it? Somebody asks you something. Do not hesitate to take time. You can take your time. It doesn't mean that you have ever a long ever time to deal with that, but 30 seconds, probably 30 seconds to 1 minute at most. Take that time and then start thinking. Second thing is identify your strengths. Are you good at negation? Are you good at negotiation? Are you good at talking and the fur part of it? The question. Or rather, you're good at whatever that you want to pull out of your well, pull up that and use that as your strength there. Third thing is your style. Have your own style when you're speaking, especially impromptu. This style matters because when you have that style build up, that is just one that you will usually start using when you are attempting this impromptu speaking. Well, we'll cover more, but for now, let me introduce the functionaries. We have three functionaries helping us in the meeting process today. We have timer Toastmaster Amanda, who is joining from China. No, sorry, our counter Toastmaster Amanda, who is joining from China. And then we have Toastmaster Vamshi joining from North Carolina, United States, helping us as timer. And then we have grammarian Toastmaster Ravindra, who is joining from Hyderabad, India. I invite our Toastmaster Ravindra to please introduce the word of the day and his role as a grammarian.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raghu. It's pleasure. It is my first meeting, and it's pleasure meeting you all. Well, as a grammarian, I'll pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully their language uses. I'll track any misuses as well as outstanding words, quotes, sayings, thoughts, and deliver my report at the end of meeting. Well, vocabulary is one of the strongest weapon to improvise our communication skills, right? Hence, we introduce a word of the day and item of the day in our meetings regularly to encourage members to use it in their speech. So today's word of the day is ardent, ARDENT. Meaning is very enthusiastic or passionate. Okay, to give you an example, I'm an ardent lover of Brazilian football. Okay, let me give another example. Toastmasters are ardent proponents of public speaking skills. All right, and the idiom of the day is step up your game. Right. So to give a meaning, right, to try harder and improve the quality of what you are doing. Right. And another example is, if you want to keep your job, you'll need to step your game up. And I request all members, if anyone use word of the day, encourage them by showing a single thumb. And if anybody uses idiom of the day, encourage them by showing 2 thumbs. I'll come back at the end of the meeting and deliver my report. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Ravindra. Can you please post that word of the day and idiom of the day in the chat so that people can look at it?
Sure, thank you.
Trust me, friends, when you hear the word of the day and idiom of the day, you may forget to use in your speech today, but remember, you will start using it in future, whether the time that you're writing your email, the time that you are speaking somewhere. Talking about time, Toastmasters are disciplined on time. We want to start on time and end on time. And unless you respect somebody's time, people will not respect you. And to help us with the time, we have Toastmaster Vamshi, who is joining from North Carolina. Vamshi, stage is yours.
Hi, thank you, Raghu. Greetings of the day, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. As a timer role for the speakers, for 5 to 7 minutes role, I will show the green at 5 minutes and red at 6 minutes. Sorry, yellow at 6 minutes and red at 7 minutes for 5 to 7 minute speeches. And 4 to 6 minutes, I will show the green card at 4 minutes and yellow at 5 minutes and red at 6 minutes. And for table topics, it is for 1 to 2 minutes. 1 minute I will show the green card, and 1 minute 30 seconds I will show the yellow card, and 2 minutes I will show the red card. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Vamshi. So you have 30 seconds grace period to complete that. And for evaluators, it will be 2 to 3 minutes, 2, 2.5, and 3. That's you need to construct. You need to wrap up when you see the red card. I invite Toastmaster Amanda to explain her role as our counter.
Hello, everyone. This is Amanda calling from Beijing, China. My role today is to help everybody to record the few words when you speak. The few words include well, so, okay, right, and yeah. And I will come back with my my report at the end of at the evaluation session. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Amanda. Apologies for that. Let me share my screen back. Now we talked about what are the tricks that will help, other techniques that will help us in that. Now it's time to understand what are the actual techniques that we can use, are the methods that we can use it to tackle when somebody puts us on the spot. It can be your boss, it can be your wife. Where are you from? Where you been the last night? Or you can be a child asking difficult questions for you to answer. Sometimes things get worse if you are not able to tackle this. So let's talk about different techniques that you can use, and we will talk about it in detail in between. But starting with first technique is prep, the most popular method in impromptu speaking. Make your point, give a reason. Third is give an example, and then make your point again. Now let us say, I say there's a topic that you want to talk about. Vaccines are useless. COVID vaccines are useless. There's a point. I give a reason. I've seen several people who were attacked with COVID even after taking the second vaccine. I've seen several people whose life expectancy has decreased after the vaccine. I've seen several things that are happening, and then I give more examples. My own life, I've seen my complete family suffering from the problem. I keep on giving examples and then make the point. Remember, impromptu speaking is all about speaking in a shorter period. You don't have the lifetime time here. You just need to respect the time. It's 1 to 2 minutes. We do practice in Toastmasters in table topics where we talk about 1 to 2 minutes, exactly what Vamshi has explained in his timer role. We need to see that we are ending in between 1 to 2 minutes, because people start getting bored, or they think that you don't know, or they just sway away from you. You need to hold the audience, whoever it is, whether it is your customer or whether it's your boss or anybody. You need to speak and complete that in 1 to 2 minutes. You need to cover everything that they need. But there are certain aspects to what you're speaking, which we'll cover in the end. For now, we'll proceed with the meetings. We have talked about impromptu speaking, but there's something called prepared speeches. Why do you need to go prepared? Is, for example, you're writing an email or you're giving a presentation and everything. We go prepared for that. And that's what Toastmasters, we have Pathways program where people come prepared with their speeches with certain expectation from each speech. This helps you to improve your communication. You practice and you get feedback. Feedback, for example, every part of life, people judge you. But in Toastmasters, you get feedback in CRC methodology, where people tell you what were your strengths, what are the areas that you need to work upon, and then what was something that you did great in your speech that day. With that approach, you will start working on improving yourself. And this is one of the best feedback techniques that can be used in any part of your life. Well, enough said. Let me introduce the first speaker. First speaker today is Toastmaster Niyamat, and I'm going to be her evaluator today. Toastmaster Niyamat is attempting her level 1, and project is evaluation and feedback speech 2. Before that, do you want to quickly check your audio video, Niyamat?
Am I clearly audible and visible?
Yes.
I will be
Niyamat,
sharing rights also, please. Thank you.
you want to sharing rights? Okay, give a minute. Now, Niyamat is attempting this project called evaluation feedback, and in this part, the objective is to take the feedback and repeat the speech based upon feedback. Unless you're working on your feedback, you cannot become a better speaker or a better leader. And that's what Niyamat is going to showcase today. And our speech title is Clear the Mess. Toastmaster Niyamat, clear the mess, Toastmaster Niyamat.
Is my screen clearly visible to everyone?
Yes, it is.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests who joined us. When you look at this picture, what does it tell you? Does it look at a beautiful forest green cover that is encapsulated within the confines of a metropolitan city like Mumbai? It is surprising, though, that so much of green cover actually exists in this hubbub of India, of Mumbai, and still we complain about pollution and we say that there is not enough clean air for each one of us. Let me share a story about these beautiful shrubs that populate the city of Mumbai, especially the coastal regions, called the mangroves. We cannot stop the winter or the summer from coming. We cannot stop the spring or the fall or make them other than they are. They are gifts from the universe that we cannot refuse. But we can choose what we will contribute to life when each arrives. Gary Zukov. A week back, me and friends of mine attended a mangrove restoration project under the organization of New Acropolis that is situated in Colaba. For all those who are aware, Colaba is at the fag end of Mumbai, and it's a beautiful area in Mumbai. But however, little is known about the mangroves that are actually surrounding the area of Colaba. Now, the question here is, first thing, why should we go cleaning the mangroves? They are actually beautiful, beautiful creatures, and they are responsible for a lot of the green cover there, and they also prevent a lot of erosion because they are so densely populated in that area. They have an ability to be adaptable and resilient. Also, very surprisingly, they have roots which are special. They come out and they stick out, and they're known as pneumatophores. They stick out like small pikes. And this is interesting because they are so densely populated that you need to give them more oxygen for them to grow effectively. Now, why am I educating all you guys about mangroves? What is so special about them? Sadly, over the past few years, 5 to 10 years, the green cover, the mangroves have really reduced in number. And a big reason for that is us, humans. We have either knowingly or unintentionally led to a lot of pollution in this mangrove environment, and that has indirectly affected us today. And so me and my friends set out on this project of trying to rid the mangroves of all the debris, the pollution, the plastics, the glass, and oh my, the amount of mess and clutter that we found. We were astonished that we are the ones who have created this. But this was not the only objective that we had. The objective was twofold. Not only to clean the mess that lies on the outside, but in practice, try to clean the mess that is within us. I can't blame the mangroves for the way they are. That's nature. But am I not nature too? Am I not a part of this nature and the whole too? If the mangroves are suffering today, who is the reason? Am I not responsible for all the clutter and chaos? And so with every step that we were working on, we were asked to introspect and also understand, how can I make this better? How can I not have this condition repeat itself? This was our team. We were 25, 30 odd members. And mind you, we had no prior experience of cleaning or restoration projects as such. But what we did have was will. Pure, sheer will to contribute on a Sunday morning and just clean this entire area and try to rid it of the muck that was pulling it down so that it could blossom more freely. And so the first instruction that we were given was that before we dive right into this, let us take a step back and align ourselves and put ourselves into teams. So we divided ourselves into 3 teams. One of the teams would be the ones who would go deep into the mangroves because that would be much more dirty, and they would try to clean it. The second team was the one that would stay at the shoreline, and we would try to clean that mess. And the third team was responsible for keeping our spirits high. So every 5 minutes, every 30 minutes, one of them would shout, "How's the Josh, sir?" And we would say, "Hi, sir." Even if we wouldn't feel like that, we would try to build our spirits. So the interesting part here is that this particular mangrove, you can see the amount of dirt that is around it. And you want to see it up close and personal? We wanted to see what actually lies beneath. And before we could see that, yes, so this is actually all the dirt and the muck that was lying beneath. And it was really upsetting, but also very disgusting to see that this is what we have done to nature. However, one of my friends, when I was really tugging at one of the branches and trying to really get all of this out of it, he said that don't try so hard. I said I was trying to go to the core of it. And he kept insisting that don't go to the core. Try to cut it bit by bit so that you'll be able to get the whole muck together once. And I actually had a very profound learning in that instance. that even while trying to clean things that are within us, whatever vices one might have, don't try to get it rid from the core in one go. Try to bit by bit, try to discover what is actually the problem here, and try to find the solution to it. So these were the hidden treasures we found, and it was a big learning for all of us that if we work together, many hands will make light work. And by forming a human chain, we could actually take these 50, 100 odd bags, which had nearly 700 kgs of clutter, and we could put it into a truck and then actually take it to the dump yard. So yes, this was our team, and it was a wonderful success and good utilization of a Sunday morning. And I will leave you with just one thought. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed individuals can change the world. In fact, it's the only thing that ever has. Thank you, and over to you, TM Modi.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Niyamat. You can stop sharing, and then I request timer to please give us 1 minute and request all the guests and audience here, please give feedback to Niyamat in private chat for her speech. Thank you very much. It's time to know about our second technique talking on impromptu speaking. Second technique, it is pendulum method. You've seen the old wall clocks. It has a pendulum which moves to left, middle, and then right. This similar way how the pendulum goes, you use the technology here. When there are two sides of a case, you go on one side and explain your view, and then swing to the other side, explains two view. But then as the pendulum comes in between, take your one side. You have to make your one side. When you say that, that is when you are making a point. Things when, like, for example, there are situations where you need to choose a software and you need to give a presentation where the person have to choose between different ideas. For example, you're working as a group and trying to bring some ideas. Pendulum method is one of the technique that you can use to convince the audience. Trying to go on both sides, talk about what you think about it as a leader, go on other side, tell what you think about it, and explain both the views, and then come to one view that you think is right. This is necessary and one important technique that you can use. We'll talk about more, but also time for our second speech. Our second speaker today is Toastmaster Tarun Kumar. He's Colonel Tarun Kumar, I would address as. And then to evaluate his speech, we have our friend Latif Mansoor Ali joining today from our neighboring country, Pakistan. Toastmaster Latif, can you please introduce Tarun Kumar and give his speech objectives?
Thank you, Didam Raghu. Today, Toastmaster Colonel Tarun Kumar, he is a motivational speaker by profession. I can see as a coach. He will be embarking on innovational Just a second. Innovative planning. This is level 2. Connect with the audience, connect with your audience. The purpose statement of the project is for the member to practice the skills needed to connect with the unfamiliar audience. So there are some skills which he has to present, that how he is going to connect with those audience which is like not he is familiar with, or the audience is unfamiliar to him. Timer, please note, speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. Toastmaster Colonel Tarun Kumar. Speech title: Trust, the essence of leadership. Trust is the essence of leadership. Toastmaster Colonel Tarun Kumar. Stage is yours.
Whenever I have conversations with CEOs, CHROs of companies where I'm invited to interact, what I've realized is that most ardent of them wanted to explore trust and how it can be integrated into their workplace culture. Trust is a very simple word, yet with a meaning which is pretty complex and at times beyond human comprehension. During my battlefield to boardroom strategies, we discussed the nuances of human behavior nurtured at the military academy, which later on become our first nature. The victory on the battlefield depends on how quickly soldiers work through the ODA loop. Now, you all must be wondering, what does ODA stands for? The first O stands for observe the facts on ground. The second O stands for orient yourself to the landscape. D is for decide to act, and then you act. Now, the crucial learning was not in deciphering this ODA loop, but in making you all understand that success on the battlefield depends on cycling through this ODA loop much faster than your opponent. This holds true not only for military success, but for strategic corporate success too. Success depends on how you use your time. Time is money, don't they say that? If you can take more actions, and by doing so, you overwhelm your enemy's ability to respond. And that's where I have summarized the entire concept of winning or losing on the battlefield. If this sounds amazing, then consider how it works in the corporate or the business world. A company is not defeated by a larger opponent. It is defeated by a faster opponent who can respond to the changing conditions more rapidly. So if you want to be a leader or a successful organization, then start uncluttering your ODA loop, meaning reducing the steps that would require you to arrive at a decision. Isn't it as simple as that? So if the goal is to complete the loop in the least amount of time, the decision-making cycle needs to be as uncluttered as possible. And that holds true in almost each and every sphere of our life. Now you must be wondering that how that would work in a colossal organization like the army. It's very simple and easy. The junior officers, they work on tactics and immediate goals, and the senior work on overall objectives and a unified culture. The glue that holds these two teams together is trust. Now, this word, which I keep on repeating, is something that is where success is bound to happen. In rapid action and response scenarios where change is the only constant, we all work within certain parameters. certain limitations, certain restrictions. And at the same time, we have to take some bold actions. Now, you can't go back to your seniors and ask, am I allowed to take this action? It is this trust that what you were imparted with holds the ground and makes you decide not only professionally, but also ethically, morally, and in certain cases, spiritually. Now let's drill further into why trust is important for organizations, for all of us. We are all so much grappling with this concept of when we are working in our workplaces, that there is lack of trust. Well, we are all used to working in silos. My understanding is that in CV Street, silos are not innately bad, but can be if companies and their cultures have faltered. Silos can be terribly destructive when employees prefer acting alone rather than in unison. So the solution is not breaking these silos, but in building trust. Silos exist in every organization. Different operating units, different level of seniorities, different geographic divisions, and these differentiations continue to multiply. And yet, we all form part of the same thread. Where trust is lacking, silos amplify cynicism, doubt, and they start tearing the organization apart. Now, is this the kind of organization you would be interested in being part of? I don't think so. Any one of us would be working in this environment and also thinking of growth. And this is where trust comes in. Trust is a function of two things: character and competence. Character includes your integrity, your motive, your intent with people. Competence includes your capabilities, your skills, and your track record. And mind you, both of these are vital. You must realize that for a leader, it is essential to trust his team members. You have to trust them. You have to give them that loose rope to go and explore, to make it happen. George Patton said that, don't tell your people how to do things. Just ask them to do it, and they will surprise you with their ingenuity. And this is so true in the military world. Why can't it be so in the CV Street? We all have our own unique ways of working and building on this trust. Now, let me share a small example. Probably it will help you draw the meaning and the concept of trust. Let's imagine throwing a 1-year-old child into the air. When you throw him in the air, he laughs because he knows that you're going to catch him. And that, my dear friends, is trust. And if you can build trust in your teams, in your organization, there is no growth that you cannot achieve. With that, I take you back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Tarun. I invite everyone to give your feedback in private chat with Tarun. It's time to understand our next technique in the impromptu speaking. This is one I love most, is the balance method. Now here is something that just like the balance, which does weighs on both sides, right? For example, let us say that same case, like we choose a software, rather you're trying to present a case in your office where you have to buy a software. And then there are multiple things for your use, multiple software in the market. Which one you choose? For example, You went through everything, you're done demos and everything, but they are capped on with 2 or 3. How do you choose it? So you make a neutral point here. You say that we'll choose which one is the best. And then you come to the part where you explain your views on both the sides. For example, let us say there are 2 softwares in the case, Jam Scheduler and Autosys, which helps us in scheduling and job. Now I'm talking about the weightage. It is what is the weightage, what is the cost, what is the functionality and everything. I'm explaining the views of both. Rather, even if when you want to buy something, let us say that you want to go for a movie, this is something that you debate. That movie and this movie, and you give the weightage, right? And then in the end, you're making a neutral point. You are not taking any side like the pendulum method. You still say, choose the best one that you think is right, especially when you are presenting to senior management, when you're presenting to elders. You are giving them the options on the plate, telling them this is what it is about both the cases. Now you make your best thing. As per me, both of them look right, right? You are being neutral, or you are not making any point there. You're not taking any side there. Remember, this is the point that you do. Now we have our third speech. Third speech is about icebreaker. Breaking the ice is something that we need to do, right? Every time that we talk to some strangers. And today, Avinash Verma, our newest member, is breaking the ice with a wonderful speech introducing himself. Let me invite the speech evaluator, Toastmaster Nihal, who is joining from MTM Toastmaster Hyderabad, who is going to evaluate his speech. Nihal, can you please give the speech objectives and introduce the speaker, Avinash Verma?
Thank you, Raghu. Hi, everyone. This is Nihal. I will be the evaluator of Avinash's speech. Avinash is a software engineer who has been working for 8 years in Hyderabad in a consultative company. He is attempting L1P1, an icebreaker speech. Title is A Serious Boy. Let's all listen to the seriousness of Avinash. All the best, Avinash.
Thank you, Nihal. Hello, everyone. Very good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all the fellow Toastmasters and guests and fellow speakers. Okay. Today, I'm going to share a memorable moment that I had in my life. Have you all ever been to a convocation? Yes? I hope you all did. I hope you also had very memorable moments during your convocation, during your college days. Today, I wanted to share one of such memorable moments with you all. So on February 24th, 2014, at IIT Mumbai, I still remember I was walking up to the stage and collected my degree, came back and hugged my parents. There were few drops of happy tears, and that is when I disturbed my father from his mid-afternoon dream. And his joyful dream was interrupted by me with playing a flute which was bought on the previous day. His reaction and reflex were the ones which made that day so memorable to me. If I continue to tell all the funny and naughty things that I did, or all about the dreams that my middle class parents had, that never became true, that will become endless. I had the same fun with my teachers as well. I was a very naughty kid and not a consistent one, and I was never a kid that obeys all the rules from the parents or all the rules from the teachers or elders. Well, I always had fun during the school, meaning I was never a first ranker, but I was okay, but I was never consistent from my KG to PG. The same naughty kid with his very obedient and kind behavior, standing here in front of you today, had studied at 9 different schools. At last, he got into a decent university in India, where I had a chance to pursue my electrical and electronics engineering, but that was a mistake. Well, that's not my first mistake, right? But this is when I started to take life very seriously. I never concentrated on my education or studies. Okay, I always used to roam out, still a naughty kid. But that's when in 2014, May, I finished my graduation, and unfortunately, I got placed into TCS, okay, an IT company where I never dreamt of being an employee in any of the company. And I started to work as an associate systems engineer, assistant systems engineer at TCS Mumbai, where I used to have a happy paid vacation, meaning I never ever worked for the whole day. I thought this was happy. You're being paid for just enjoying the life. You don't need to pay to some university and do homeworks. Here instead, they're paying you back just to have fun. Eat, play, relax, look at some beautiful things around you. Yeah. So it was a very happy paid vacation. Now, the fun police patrols around my life. Are you wondering who is that? Yes, it's my father. Again, it was a very wonderful afternoon after a heavy lunch when I visited my parents at Nellore, Andhra Pradesh. So my father asked me, okay, when are you going to be serious in life? When? So he advised me to get into an IIM and get a degree and do. So the poor kid who never got into IITs. So my father's reaction was, at least get into IIMs, because you couldn't get into IITs. I was like, oh, really? Okay, let me find a university in US. Nobody knows whether it's a good university or not. You can make up any story. Not many knows. So finally, I did my master's in information systems and business analytics at Florida International University, Miami, Florida. That's when I really got persistent and consistent, and also gave a thought. Okay, let's start to really see what's going on. Well, I really became serious then in life, and then I started to enjoy what I was studying, because the curriculum that they had and the way that they teach you the concepts that's necessary for the work environment and the industry, it really helped me. Well, being a naughty kid and also not being very consistent, persistent, I'm very happy to share today with you all that I have been consistent, persistent, working with the same company for last 5 years, and also had an opportunity to start the subsidiary of the same company that I worked in US and successfully running here in Hyderabad for last 2.5 years. Now we have a team of 9 people. This is all about me, a serious boy. Thanks to all the Toastmasters, and over to Raghunath.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Avinash, for that beautiful icebreaker. It's a custom in Toastmasters to give standing ovation to the speaker, whoever presents their icebreaker. Can I request everyone to unmute yourself and clap for Toastmaster Avinash?
Thank you all.
Super.
Wonderful, Avinash. And what is your feedback for this naughty kid, not so serious kid, or the serious kid? Give your feedback in private chat for him. Timer, please give us 1 minute. Let us know when the 1 minute is over. Rather, in the interest of time, please continue giving your feedback in private chat, and we'll continue with our next technique. The last technique is something, the timeline method. Timeline method is when you talk about past, present, and future. The same thing, when you have to decide on something, you talk on different timelines. For example, you want to invest somewhere, you want to buy a software, you buy something, or you want to invest in securities. You all look into past, you look into present, how it is doing now, and then what is the future trends. Similar way, when you want to talk about something, you talk in timelines. When you talk in timelines, you're trying to establish the authenticity of certain topic. It matters. The timeline method is one of the best techniques that you can use to establish the authenticity of something that you're talking about. Go in the past and talk about it. For example, then second is present. At the present, what is happening? Future, what is future trends? Something that are the projections for the future. And then conclude it talking about what you have to talk about it. Remember the techniques. We have talked about prep. We have talked about the pendulum method. We have talked about the balance. We talked about the problem solution. And then we talked about timeline method. Now, one thing that you need to remember, when people look at you, when people listen to you, this is the evaluation criteria. How are you developing your speech? Are you smooth? Are you confident? And you don't have any problem when you're talking to them. Effectiveness. Are you driving the logic? And then whatever purpose statement of your purpose of what you're trying to tell, you're not deviating from that. How your hand gestures, your eye contact is there. Your voice modulation, are you flexible enough when you're trying to convey that message? Appropriateness is about the rate of speech. If you're talking so speed, people don't understand. You're talking very slow, but also people get bored. And then also about your clarity, talking about the grammar, are talking about when you start using and everything, how you do it. And then one thing, what is the choice of words that you're using? People love it simple. If you're trying to use your Oxford dictionary that you just gulped in, or you're trying to use lot of idioms, people don't understand them. Try to make it simple, where our ultimate goal is not to show our speaking skills. Ultimate goal is to send that message across for any kind of audience. Remember, it is not a prepared speech. Life is never a prepared speech, but you can go prepared. Let us simulate this in our table topics now. Now that you all understand how we can do an impromptu speech, when you have certain scenarios, or when you can use the techniques from what we have developed so far. Everybody has some other thing in our well. Let us start drawing that water out of it and start using in this impromptu speech section, which is table topics in Toastmasters. Now, to demonstrate to our guests, I will invite one of the Toastmasters in the room to attempt this table topic. First table topic. Can I ask Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali to attempt the first table topic? And again. Okay. Latif Mansoor Ali, the topic for you is COVID was a myth. COVID was a myth. Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali.
Thank you, DTM Raghu. Yes, COVID was a myth. COVID was a myth for us and everyone to recall of whatever life we have lived in past, how to improve during the time when we will get our things back to normality? Or what if it gets worse? Yes, it is a myth because we learned many things on how to evolve when certain problems come, when certain situations come, or when certain obstacles which are bound for us to receive or to see it, how to face them. During my time, I understand that COVID was a time to go through when you are there, like, you grow through from while you go through. The time when you are in troublesome, you understand that you have to grow from there. And eventually, after that 6 to 7 months of period where I lost my job and then finally they called me back, I was one of the person who made a team of people except the leaders giving orders. So it was one of those things which time and time learned, made us a better person. Yes, COVID is a myth, but it's good when we keep learning through it. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali. He agreed to the point, and then he made his reasoning with a twist. And then he gave examples from his life, and then he made a point by closing, COVID is a myth, right? That he has used the PREP method, PREP. Now, who wants to go? Let me invite one of the guests, Aditi Das. Do you want to try?
Yeah, sure, I can try. What's the topic? Is it the same one I need to talk or something else?
No, I'll give you a different topic.
Okay, sure.
Okay. I'll give one of my favorite topics. Some of the members have already heard this topic. If an apple a day keeps doctors away, if an apple a day keeps doctors away, don't we need more apple sellers than doctors? When apple a day keeps doctors away, don't we need more apple sellers than doctors? Aditi Das.
Hey, thanks. That's really good, interesting. I'll just try to speak few lines about it. So yeah, definitely I agree with this, that apple keeps us from doctors away. But at the same time, we need a lot of other nutrients in our body, right? It's not only apple. Apple is definitely one of the good fruits which you can have every day. But we need a lot of other nutrients such as citrics. Then we do have other vitamins also, right? So yeah, that is always people say that because this is one of the good fruit for our health. But that doesn't mean we'll keep on eating only apples. We need to change our taste as well on daily basis, right? You can't eat apple every day. Specifically, if you ask me, I really don't like apple. So I will try something else then. Like I love grapes. I love the orange. There are many fruits to eat. So I totally don't agree with this fact, even though it is said always. And I'm a Bengali. Obviously, I love eating a lot of fish as well. Those things will be always there in my plate. Yeah, that's all. I don't know. I am not getting anything else right now in my mind.
No problem. Good attempt, Aditi Das. What I
Thank
loved
you.
about is, so you started in a different topic, you agreeing to the topic, but in the end, you said you don't agree to it. Remember, you do not always have to agree to someone who has put a topic. You can disagree. The point that you're making is either agreeing or disagreeing. And then we need to give a reason why you are disagreeing, that has come in the last. You can improve next time. That you're attempting is making the point beforehand, disagreeing or agreeing, but that's okay. It's a first attempt, and then you will improve and become a better version of yourself. Keep practicing, keep joining the meetings.
Sure.
Anyone who wants to go next? Anusha, do you want to try a topic?
Yeah, sure. I'll try.
Okay, I'll give you a simple topic. The topic is challenges of a working woman. Challenges of a working woman, Toastmaster Anusha.
Yeah, thank you. Uh, Firstly, to start with, there are many challenges for a working woman. Meaning that it's like I just sometimes feel that I'm doing three jobs. One is the actual job. Second is like taking care of the cooking, taking care of house, cleaning, all that. Third thing is taking care of the kids, school activities, and then social activities. You need to take them out every day, to meet friends. You need to plan their play dates, everything. And not just that, you have to plan ahead, meaning like in terms of finances or in terms of events or activities, like whatever that like right now my kid is like 5-year-old. So I wasn't this forward thinking 5 years ago or 6-7 years ago. Only after I had a baby, I started thinking forward, like what would the situation be like next year or the other year or year. So we keep thinking and then we keep making down some points. I think what I would like the best is a quiet Sunday morning or a Saturday morning when no one is awake. I would just have some glass of hot water and then a pen and paper, where I would like to write few things that I think really matter. I just feel like if I do that, some things are off my mind in a place, then I can just keep ticking them like as and when I do it. I think one other thing is like no matter what you do, this life is like you keep getting a lot of things to do, meaning that you have your passport renewal, you have to go for your visa extension, whatever, like you have like so many things that you need to take care always. So, but in a way, I don't think it's bad. Once in a while, if you take a break, it will be great. Otherwise, that's what keeps you going, right? The real purpose or motivation, the family that you have, that you need to take care. That's what is like driving me to do all this.
Thank you very much. One question for you. Who is the youngest at home? Is it Vamshi or your kids?
I feel like I'm telling you for the fact, I just feel both are kids. Like they fight, they the way I operate, and I am overseeing them like, "Look, what are you doing?" I do that. I'm managing. I'm the mother of those two.
I know my wife keeps telling I have 3 kids and it calls me the youngest one. She says that I am the most naughtiest, but then that's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll take one last topic. Ajar Khan, do you want to go? Toastmaster Ajar Khan, do you want to go next?
Yes.
Okay, we'll make it little spicy. I'll give you a topic and then I will ask you to switch your side of argument, switch. And then you need to switch to the opposite side of your argument. Switch again, then you come back to the right argument. Okay, I'll keep says switch and then you need to change your argument.
Okay.
I'll give you a simple topic, Ajar. I love Toastmaster meetings. I love Toastmaster meetings, Toastmaster Ajar.
Yes, such a beautiful topic. I love Toastmaster meeting because it is a place where you learn lots of and you spread your network and you meet every single legend person who has a good qualifications. They have a different backgrounds, different culture, different society. You learn and learn on a daily basis, but new things. Oh, really? There's a today I learned lots of things from
Switch.
you, all you guys. These are very distractions. Whenever some speakers speaking in front of me, it's very difficult to me. How can I understand what he's saying? Every person have different accent, different vocabulary, different thought process, and sometimes we did not match the chemistry. is very difficult. How can I listen to everyone? But sometimes we try to best. Okay,
Switch.
we have to listen what. But at the end, we learn a lot. So we appreciate the all Toastmasters lovers because it's a good. Free of course learning everywhere, anywhere. I'm sitting in the office, you are sitting
Switch.
everywhere. But sometimes we're heartache because my wife said, "What's happening? Aren't you wasting your? You have no idea what's happening around you. You have to buy the grocery, and you have spent time a lot in the Toastmaster. You have 3 hours, 4 hours on a daily basis. You have no
Switch.
idea what's happening." But at the end, I convinced her, okay, this is a good because one day I will be a good speaker. I will speak on the TED Talks and I'll show you I am your husband and you will appreciate me. Oh, he's a guy, he's my person, he's my husband. At the time, you love my attitude and speeches. So at the time, what
Switch.
will you? Oh, he's a husband. So, but I'm keep trying. After the next 2 and 3 years, maybe I'll try the good, a good theater, and then I'll show you my performance. And everyone say, oh, he's a good speaker. Masters. He has spent time in lots of time in Sportmaster, but at the end he got a lot of thing. Back to you,
Thank you.
Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raja. That was a challenge and you tried it level best. Thank you very much for that topic. Talking about Toastmasters. One secret I will tell you, if you want to do it seamlessly, make your wife a Toastmaster. That's what I did, and she doesn't disturb me when I'm in Toastmaster meeting at least. With that note, it's time to to have food. Maybe lunch, maybe dinner, maybe breakfast. No, they're not going to cook here. But as they say, feedback is the breakfast for champions. And it's not the breakfast time for many of us. So it is the dinner time probably. So we have our cooks who are here who are going to cook and give us the feedback. Starting with the first speech evaluator, that will be me. I'm going to evaluate Toastmaster Niyamat's speech. I'll keep it crisp, not following the timelines, just to adhere to my role as a Toastmaster and also to the time. Toastmaster Niyamat. I heard about a story in Mumbai where one of the lawyer has worked upon cleaning Wasabi Beach. There were millions of pounds that they were able to clear. Now today, I'm proud to be associated with you as a fellow Toastmaster Niyamat, that you worked upon cleaning that mess in the area that you have been doing. This is one of the noble cause, I would say, irrespective of what you have presented as speech, and big round of applause for that. I loved the way that you started your speech with a quote. You made an attempt and then introduce your topic. As they say in any speech, tell them what you're going to tell. Second is tell them. And third is tell them what you're told. And that's what you have utilized, rather use the technique to tell when you open, told, and then close as well. Second thing is I love your slides. Most of your slide were just pictures and you had stories to tell, your personal story, and you remembered everything and were narrating. You're using conversation style. That was the power, and we could all follow with that. You had your facial expressions, you were smiling, and you were living that moment. That's what matters when you're giving a speech. Your hand gestures were visible, though you were sitting today. You did a great job in your delivery. You did a great job in your content. You did a great job in the content, rather the PowerPoint presentation. Now, if I have to give some improvement areas for you as a speaker, because any speech can be done better. First thing I would say, first slide was more like you were reading from the slide. Try to make it trim or try to make it a simple code that you can remember and tell it instead of having it on the slide. Second thing is try to adhere to timeline guidelines by trimming the old presentation and your story. Third thing that I would say is try to give an action for the listeners, because end of day, for any speech, one thing that you need to remember is the audience should have one takeaway from that. Are you asking us to start working on cleaning? What is that one message that you want to pass? Overall, to summarize, I would say this is one of best speech, and Toastmaster Niyamat, you're an accomplished speaker. Try to work upon these improvement areas. I'm sure you are there, and all the best for your area contest. You have attending your table topics. Now let me invite our second speech evaluator, Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali, evaluating Colonel Tarun Kumar's speech. Over to you, Latif.
Thank you, DTM Raghu. Today, my target speaker, Toastmaster Colonel Tarun, was a proven adherent speaker. He showed the compassion, the passion, and more of the aggression towards how valuable a trust is, the essence of leadership. He took us to a journey between two lifestyles, where one is the battlefield and the other one is the professional lives, where trust is required between all through the levels of staffing. Be it a junior staff, he has to do what has been asked to, and the leaders will follow the bigger perspective. Too many things to learn in one short 6 to 7 minute speech. Love the way it was created, as it started, that what many people ask. Yes, they ask the importance of trust. I loved the observant, oriented, dedicated, and to decide to act, the way it was proved and showed. Now, when there is so many things of usage, compassion, bravery, a lot of things which I heard today make us think of what if I was there in that position. And to connect that with the audience, Tarun, I would have loved to hear a story about it. Be a general story or be a life story. Had it combined with all those points which you made it, a story would have connected us more into what you are saying. As of now, yes, what we understand, what we learned through our speech was it is going through what is necessity of trust. But how a trust can become a valuable evident to the speakers, to the listeners, would have made this journey. Now, few things which have step up a game of your speech was the camera angle. As you are sitting and you look at me sitting in, we both are having it sitting observation, but a better way is to show this much of your way, so that a little bit of your hand gestures would have been reflected to us. Second thing, you shared a lot about silos, but you never showed that power of silos. Like if we are keeping it in our bank, if we are stored with a lot of things, how a speaker or how a junior staff can show out when it's required. So those silos were always mandatory to ask. Now, last but not the least, too much of description was a lot for us. Had it a story with a takeaway message, would have led it a very wonderful ending to the speech. Thank you very much. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Latif, for using CRC methodology. I'm sure Toastmaster Tarun have a lot to learn and improve. Now, third speech evaluator, we have Toastmaster Sahil. Nihal. Apologies for the for that.
It's okay, Raghu. Hi, this is Nihal. Greetings for the day again. I am the evaluator of Avinash. Avinash, superb. You started with a question. You had audience awareness. And I did not expect this kind of fluency in your English for the icebreaker one. It was very good. And the kind of gestures you have made while climbing the steps. It was very good. I mean, I did not expect that. And you were very much comfortable with the camera. Kind of. And I just want you to make some amendments in your next speech. You are like, the vocal variety was little, when you were serious, your father was asking the question, how, when you will be serious in your life, you are like little normal. Instead of that, how, when will you be serious in your life? This kind of variety would be expected. And the thing is, and you are like, sometimes when you're thinking, you are like looking up and you're looking down, you are looking sideways instead of looking into the camera. So I would suggest you to look into the camera as it's a virtual one. As it is an icebreaker, we have done tremendous job. It was very good. I completed my icebreaker recently. It was like resemblance. I looked in you some things, few things. Okay, all the best, Avinash, for the next speech. I would appreciate if you make some amendments in the next speech. Thank you. Over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Nihal. Toastmaster Nihal's first speech evaluation. Big round of applause, Nihal. You did a wonderful job on your first
Thank
speech
you.
evaluation today.
Thank you.
Keep learning, keep growing, and do well. I'm sure you will be able to become a better version of yourself.
Thank you.
We all did contribute to the meeting in one or other way, and time to know about how we did. And our three superheroes are here to help us to evaluate that. Let me invite the timer for today, Toastmaster Vamsi, to tell us how we have been doing on time.
Hi. 1 minute. Sorry for the delay. Yeah, the speakers coming to the speakers first section speakers. Naimat took 8 minutes 10 seconds, and Kallan Tarun it took 8 minutes 2 seconds, and third speaker Avinash took 7 minutes, and table topics Ali took 2 minutes 40 seconds, and Aditi took 1 minute 31 seconds, and Anusha took 2 minutes 5 seconds, and Ajar took 2 minutes 4 seconds. Coming to evaluators, Raghu took exactly 3 minutes, and evaluator Ali, it took 3 minutes 4 seconds, and Nihal took 1 minute 39 seconds. Yeah. That is my timer report. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm sure that we will be able to improve our timings next time. But now, thank you very much for giving that wonderful report, Toastmaster Vamsi, concise and clear. It's time to see how we are doing on our language, and there are 2 dimensions to it. That is our counter report, how we are doing, whether our language is smooth or not. Toastmaster Amanda is going to present her report today.
Hello, everyone. I'm the accountant for today's meeting. I think everyone did a great job, did an excellent job in today's meeting. Most of you doesn't have a lot of few words when you speak. I just catch sound like hey and Avinash. I think you are not very familiar with your speech, so you have some few words like you have 9 times and 2 times and also you have a 3 times but and okay, you said 2 times, I believe. And for other people, I think most of you did an excellent job. Thank you. Go back to the Toastmaster. Okay.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Amanda. Time to see how we are doing on our language part. Second thing is about the grammar part. I invite what I call is English teacher of the day. English teacher of the day or the grammarian for today, Toastmaster Ravindra. Please tell us how we are doing on language part.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Raghu. What an ardent meeting. Everyone set their game up and made this meeting wonderful. Well, as I promised, I'm back with my report now. I'm very happy to hear very good usages. Let me start with good usages. Toastmaster Naimat, she used a couple of good words like encapsulation, astonished, never doubt that one can change the world and all. And Toastmaster Colonel Tarun Kumar, he used a couple of good uses, holds true, uncluttering, spear of life, glue that holds a team together, bold actions, drill further, silos, and many more. Toastmaster Avinash used fun police patrol, consistent and persistent. Toastmaster Latif used grow through while you go through. I liked it very much. Proven advanced speaker. Right. Apart from this, I have also identified a couple of areas where our members might work on it. Right. In one of the speeches, it was used like beautiful. They would have used it once, or can be use it like very beautiful. Use your time. That can be rephrase it as spend your time. Disturbed my father. Rather, disturbed my father. Not consistent, rather inconsistent. Whether I am not able to capture it, or I don't know, but unfortunately I don't hear anyone used word of the day and idiom of the day. But I recommend all the members go back to the chat and try to use it in your day-to-day life. That will be useful. That's it from my end. Thanks for this opportunity. Over to you, back to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you for an ardent grammarian report. I hope I've used it now. Thank you, Ravindra, for that concise and good report. We can improve upon this, identifying strengths and also same time identifying our areas of improvement. Thank you all for joining today. I would like to get feedback from our visiting Toastmasters and our guests. Let me start with our guest Aditi Das. My question for you is this platform is something that you see and a platform where you can improve yourself, and also is this club that you find friendly and helpful, and also your feedback on today's meeting.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for giving this opportunity to me. This was definitely very helpful. I learned a lot from all of you. Just one suggestion, can we make it little more interactive? Because sometimes I was feeling I'm quite silent in entire sessions. So if you can make it little more interactive, I think it would be great. Otherwise, it was really great session. And I learned a lot of new words also from each one of you. I'll try to implement those in my life, in our day-to-day work. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aditi. Keep joining, keep improving yourself. Let me ask feedback from Pavani.
Yeah, hello everyone. It was a very nice meeting. I'm a Toastmaster from USP Auditors, Hyderabad. Means I see these meeting invites all the time, and I got some time. I thought I'd join this, and it was a very the speeches and table topics and even the team module was very interesting, and I ensured that I join future meetings too.
Thank you very much, Pavani. Parveen Muhammad.
Yes, hi. It was very interesting, and this is the first Zoom meeting I joined. And thank you so much, Raghunandan Raju sir. And thank you so much. It was very interesting. I will be joining in future also.
Thank you very much, Parveen. Keep joining, keep improving yourself. Miral Patel.
Yes. Can you hear me? Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah, this is my first session as well. And definitely I learned something, definitely. I'm not a public speaker. I don't have any motivation. I was just in one of the WhatsApp group. I just got invited and I just thought of joining because I had time. But definitely I would love to join more sessions and see how I can improve. I'm not
Sure,
a
thank
public
you.
speaker at all, but
No problem. All
we
of us are
want to
on the
learn.
journey.
Yes.
We are all on the journey. We're all
Thank
on the
you.
journey to become public speakers. Thank you, Miral. Now let me ask our
Thank you.
visiting Toastmasters, Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali, what is your feedback for the meeting?
Thank you, Raghu. Yes, my takeaway from this meeting was even a smallest of role players can make wonders. You are the biggest example, Raghu. No matter you managed to get the general evaluator or table topic master or Toastmaster of the day, you make the meeting run perfectly well. You didn't thought of skipping this meeting. Make sure the guests are entertained. Loved each and every moment of this meeting, and congratulations to everyone to hang on or hooked up till the last minute of this meeting so that we learn and make a progress in this beautiful world where we have to perform professionally. Thank you, and over to you, Raghu.
Thank you very much, Latif. We have Nihal. Nihal, what is your feedback on the meeting?
Sorry to interrupt. Can I drop off because I got some work to do. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Raghu, for giving me the opportunity to evaluate Avinash. I did good, but I could have done better. I could have finished in 2 minutes, kind of thing. And the topic of the day, like impromptu speaking, I learned a lot from your speech and from the things that prep was really good. It would be beneficial for me during my preps. And the prepared speech was very good. The content was too good. The first speech I liked much about it. Second speech also. And I would suggest you to, to ask the speakers to finish the content on time. It is like they are taking more than 8 minutes. So it's okay. Thank you.
We're all becoming distinguished DTMs. Don't time me. So don't worry about that. Okay. Now, our Anusha's first meeting today. Anusha, what is your feedback on the meeting today?
Yeah, really, actually, I couldn't attend last 2 weeks. I had some office commitment at the time. But I think, yeah, I made it happen today. Thank you for calling up my name. I just joined, yeah. And yeah, it was really good. I had attended this earlier when I was in Hyderabad, in Wells Fargo. That's when I understood that there are certain groups that do this Toastmaster, and I got interested. And I told Vamsi, and then Vamsi got more interested, and he became more active than I didn't. But then I'll try to attend regularly. So, I know it helps a lot, the way we talk and all. A lot can be improved. I know there is a lot of room for improvement from my side. Yeah.